What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Twin Wrestler Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Let me slide y'all down here. Today, we're going to be talking about our predictions for Sunday's AEW Double or Nothing pay per view for Sunday, May 25th at the Desert Diamond Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. This pay per view is slated for 8 matches, but as of yesterday's collision that took place last night, there has been two additional matches added to this show. One for the 0 Hour show, which we're going to kick off with, and one added to the main card. It is a trios match, which really shouldn't be on the show, but that's the thing with these shows. They're going to go along. They're going to have multiple matches, and really half of the card shouldn't really be on the show, but ain't no point of crying about it at this point or speaking about it because we know what comes with the territory when Tony Khan does these pay-per-views. So let's kick off with the 0 Hour show, which is slated for 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. First matchup we have is the tag team matchup. We have Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford taking on Anna Jay and Harley Cameron in a tag team match. Harley Cameron and Anna Jay been having these segments backstage, and Harley Cameron came out there, Anna Jay came out there, vice versa, to help each other. Penelope Ford, she was on the run in the Fatal 4-Way match a couple weeks ago. Megan Bayne has been built up very, very well since she's debuted for AEW. Had that feud with Toni Storm for the championship. Even though she lost, she's still been built very well. And me personally, I love to see some Megan Bayne. That's a good-looking woman, man. I'm going to just leave it at that. My winner for this match is got to be Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Harley and Anna Jay just got together. Harley has this theme based on her feud with Mercedes Moné a couple months ago and what she's been doing since then. So I don't think she's going to eat the pin. I think Anna Jay takes the pin. I couldn't even tell you the last time I seen Anna Jay. I think it might have been around the time when she fought for the TBS championship, when she had like a title shot on like a Dynamite or something a couple months back. But I'm taking Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne for the win here in the 0 Hour. Now, let's get to the main card. We're going to start with the match that was added last night. It is a trios match with the Paragon, right? Ain't that what they called? The former Undisputed Era of NXT, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly taking on the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher. And I get why this match is on the card. It's to get the Don Callis family members on the pay-per-view show. But yeah, this is another match that didn't even need to be on the card. As most matches really. I don't really know the build. I mean, they just had a match. They literally had like this match on Collision last night. I think it was Takeshita and it might have been Josh Alexander taking on Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole, he was on commentary with Don Callis on commentary, and they was going back and forth, and Cole proposed the trios match for the pay-per-view Sunday, and that's what it led to. So we have this match. I think Don Callis family wins this match just because Kyle Fletcher's in there, and Takeshita as well, and Josh Alexander, who just debuted not too long ago, debuted in an Owen Hart Cup. So you want these guys to win and put them over. Only person from the Paragon that's getting some sort of attention really probably is Adam Cole, but he hasn't been featured on none of the Dynamites since winning, and even before that. Since his match with MJF, he hasn't really been featured on Dynamite at all. He's been strictly on Collision, which I guess is what Collision is for. But that group has no steam. Adam Cole is not in the same place where he was with MJF 2 years ago, and it's showing. So I'm taking the Don Callis family for the win here over the Paragon, and Kyle Fletcher probably gets a future TNT championship match at the next pay-per-view, probably all in Texas or something. So look out for that. Now let's get to the main card that was originally scheduled before these two were added. First up, we got Kazuchika Okada taking on Speedball Mike Bailey for the AEW Continental Championship. This match came out of nowhere. Last week, they had like the Anarchy in an arena spot at the end of Dynamite where everybody came out there and started brawling. And then Okada tried to come out there, but Mike Ball Speedball Mike Bailey stopped him from coming out there, and they brawled to the backside. You didn't really see none. It was very quick on the camera. You didn't really see it, but that's what this ushered into. Okada had a backstage segment, and he told him, "You want to see the best? Get in the ring with the best. I challenge you at Double or Nothing." So that's how this match came about. Okada's not losing this match because we all know the direction they're going to go. They're going to merge the Continental Championship with the International Championship. So Okada's winning this match over Speedball Mike Bailey, and Renee on commentary this past week said is by Mike Bailey debuting, he hasn't been pinned yet. So is he worried about that? But Okada said, nah, you will see come Sunday. Trust me. So we got this match. Okada's going to pick up the win here. Next up, we got another match that really don't really care for. We have Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia taking on FTR. FTR just turned on Adam Copeland maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago at this point. Hit him with the concerto, put him out of action for a while, and have been doing a little hellish things here and there. I haven't really seen them that much on Dynamite outside of like a backstage segment or two. And they have been doing at Nigel McGuinness while he's been on commentary and going after Tony Schiavone. But Nigel came up. He stuck up for Tony Schiavone. And now we got this matchup. Daniel Garcia's in there as well. FTR has to win this match. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Then they are going to the new direction with Stokely Hathaway as their manager. And we got to get to where they face Adam Copeland and a partner of his choosing, possibly Christian Cage, somewhere in the future. Don't know how far that is, but that's the direction we got to get to. So they pick up the win over Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. All right, yet another match that really shouldn't be on the card, but we're here. The AEW World Tag Team Championship matchup, we have the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP and the newly crowned member, MJF, taking on the Sons of Texas, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Now, this past week on Dynamite, after signing the contract with MJF being an official member of the Hurt Syndicate, Dustin Rhodes came out there and he cut a good promo, very, very good impassioned promo, talking about how him and Sammy are day one guys, going all the way back to 6 years ago at the first Double or Nothing, which is true. Everybody knows the match that Dustin and Cody had at Double or Nothing. One of the best matches in AEW history. Sammy Guevara being one of the 4 pillars of AEW at that time. So Dustin cut a very good promo out. I'll encourage people to watch it. But it was very good. But that out the way, they're not going to beat the Hurt Syndicate. The problem with the tag team division is they have nobody who can step up to the Hurt Syndicate and beat them legitimately. Period, point blank. Only way the Hurt Syndicate will lose them championships is if they get screwed out by MJF. And if you can tell by the segment from this past Wednesday, the contract signing, Bobby Lashley was very apprehensive. Like he was telling his lawyer, like, you sure everything is in this contract? So that's just one little teaser, one little tidbit they dropping for future of MJF turning on the Hurt Syndicate and costing them the tag team championships. But taking the Hurt Syndicate in this match, they're not losing the championship no time soon. All right, we have the stretcher match between Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. Now, normally I would say Mark Briscoe shouldn't be on the card, even though I love Mark Briscoe. But him and Ricochet in this matchup, this belongs on the card because Ricochet has a little bit of stamina going. You know what I'm saying? Mark Briscoe is just there. We know why he's there, to put the other guy over. Ricochet is going to win this match. It's going to be a bonkers stretcher match. This is going to be a stretcher match. I haven't seen a stretcher match in a very long time. I think probably the last one I watched is probably maybe Shawn Michaels and Batista, 2008. It's probably been the last stretcher match I've seen. But this is going to be a fantastic match. They're going to do a lot of high flying maneuvers. They're going to get the stretcher involved. You're going to see a lot of splashes, elbow drops on the stretcher. So I'm looking forward to this match. This is one match I can agree with putting on the card. But with that being said, I'm taking Ricochet because it's crazy. Ricochet hasn't won no pay-per-view match that he's been on since he's been in Dynamite. You notice that. Lost a triple threat at Dynasty. Lost against Swerve. The list goes on. So Ricochet got to get a win here. It's going to be a hell of a match between the two. So looking forward to it. All right, man. We have the AEW Women's World Championship matchup. Timeless Toni Storm defending her AEW World Women's Championship against Mina Shirakawa. Now, I don't know what to do with this matchup. I wish this match wasn't on the show. Really, I really do. Even though I love both women involved. Just because I think you're going to fall into the same problem that you had with Megan Bayne being a challenger for Timeless Toni Storm. Is Toni Storm is not going to lose this championship at all. She's not going to lose it no time soon. Probably later she'll probably lose it. The earliest she'll lose it is probably All In Texas, right? To whoever wins our match that we're going to talk about later on. So I see Timeless Toni Storm winning this match, and it sucks because Mina Shirakawa is going to lose. This to be her first. Granted, it's going to get her on pay-per-view, but just one match we just didn't need to be on the show. I love both ladies. One thing I will say is with all the talk of Mariah May, she possibly could return her. She's very close with Mina. Even though her issue with Toni Storm is officially done, they had the Hollywood ending back at Revolution. She could play a part with everybody talking about her contract situation going on as of recent. She could play a part of this match. That's probably why it's on the show for sure. So I won't say expect Mariah May to return, but I'm taking Toni Storm for the win here. All right, next up we have the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament Final. TBS champion Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. Now, these two women, since being winning the respective sides of the bracket, didn't really interact as much. Like you would see Mercedes come to the top of the stage after a Jamie match, and then Jamie come to the top of the stage after a Mercedes match, so forth and so forth. But this past week on Dynamite, we had a very good segment between these two, particularly from Jamie Hayter's side. Like she has some very, very good points about her. What this match means to her is not just for collecting a title or nothing like that. It's for her not being forgotten, which is a very great point because since she's been back, it's about to be close to a year since she came back at All Out or All In last year. She hasn't really done too much of nothing really. She hasn't got back to that status of Jamie Hayter old. A lot of people are forgetting about her in this women's division. So I thought that point was very, very good in her promo exchange. They face-off exchange this past Dynamite. Mercedes just said this is for her legacy, this matchup. But by her being a belt collector and the TBS champion, she's 25-0 in singles competition. We know that. That's why this match is so hard to gauge because this is really seeing Jamie Hayter for sure. Like I want Jamie Hayter to win this match. But with Mercedes not losing no match up until then, it would be stupid for her to lose now all of a sudden. We were this close to All In Texas to a championship match with Toni Storm. So I don't know, man. It's tough, but I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna pick Jamie Hayter just based off her promo exchange this past Dynamite. But I would not be shocked if Mercedes wins this and go on to All In Texas and beat Toni for the championship. I would not be. But I'm taking Jamie Hayter for the win. And next up, we have our men's Owen Hart Cup tournament final. Hangman Adam Page taking on the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. Now, these two had a very good promo exchange on Wednesday as well. They kicked off the show. Will Ospreay talked about Forbidden Door being in London. He wants to walk into London as the AEW World Champion. He wants his 6-year-old to see him as the champion, walking into their home country and defending that championship gold. Hangman said pretty much the same thing, but he said it's different. It's personal, as opposed to Will Ospreay's professional. He says personal to him because for 2 years, his life has been filled with sorrow, sadness, sorrow, just because of what happened with Swerve over these past 2 years. He lost his way pretty much. And he thought the way to get his way back was by beating the person who caused all his hurt, but it did nothing. It made him feel the same. So this championship, this win at this match is personal for him. He got to get back to the World Championship and show the fans what they deserve. what they chanted for this whole time, for him to get back to his regular self. So their exchange was pretty fantastic on Dynamite this past Wednesday. This match, that exchange just made me be like, damn, I don't know who to pick, man, because they both had valid points. But all the stuff Will Ospreay was saying, now that I know Forbidden Door is in London, I can see him winning this and winning the championship at All In and walking in Forbidden Door as the champ. But you could hold off and have him win the championship at Forbidden Door. So I don't know. It's whatever direction they go. But I think the Young Bucks will possibly, somebody's going to play a part in this match. I'll be shocked if it's a straight up win, but they coined the segment this past Wednesday as the best man win. And Ospreay had a point where he said if Hangman wins, he can bet that Ospreay and be in his corner to go up against Moxley and the Death Riders. He'd be by his side to help him and make sure he claimed the AEW World Championship. And he told Hangman that he hoped that Hangman would do the same if he win at Double or Nothing. So that might come back around. I'm taking Will Ospreay for this win, and him to dethrone Moxley at All In Texas with the help of Hangman. So for our main event, which probably won't be the main event, we have Anarchy in the Arena, the Death Riders, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, Marina Shafir, and Jon Moxley teaming up the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, taking on the team of the Ops, Shibata, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Will Hobbs, Willow Nightingale, Swerve, and Kenny Omega, the International Champion. Going back to Will Ospreay, he said he wanted to follow this match. He wanted to be the main event. I don't know where they're going to place this match. This match typically be the main event for the night because it goes on for so long. But something in my brain tells me this is not going to be the main event. So I'm going to say this match is going to probably be in the middle of the card. Take up the most time, obviously. After Dynamite last week, when everybody came out there, the team of the Young Bucks and Death Riders stood tall. So normally in professional wrestling, that tells us that that team is going to lose coming to pay-per-view, right? But there's one important factor we leaving out of this. There's no Gabe Kidd in this match. As of right now, he's not in there. And where the fuck is Jack Perry? Because he literally was the guy who pinned Daniel Bryan at this very event last year. Bryan Danielson, at this very event last year. So I can see them two coming and being a factor into this. So I'm taking the team of the Death Riders and the Young Bucks. I know you want the baby faces to get that win, but you need the heels to go over here. The heels just have too much working on their side for them not to win. Yes, Hook, he can come back and help the other team, but that still leaves the Death Riders with one more up on this whole team here. So I think Gabe Kidd and Jack Perry is going to play a factor in this match because it's been way too long since we've seen Jack Perry. So I'm going to take the Death Riders and the Young Bucks for the win in the Anarchy in the Arena just by help from the others because they have the better numbers out of everyone else involved in this situation. I'm particularly not a fan of these matches as much, but the chaos is really cool when they book it the right way. So I'm down to watch it. And it's a big storyline. The future AEW holds and it hangs in the balance pretty much. So that's going to do it for my predictions for Double or Nothing 2025. Looking forward to the show. I'll probably skip a few matches, I'm going to be honest with y'all. But I'm going to watch the main core matches. And we'll talk about it sometime later on. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Look out for these predictions to be in shorts just to have it a little quicker. So I'll see you in the next ones, man. Peace out, y'all.